Hello, great people. The military leader of France, General Tchiani, has accused Nigerian government, headed by Bola Tinubu, of colluding with France to destabilize Niger. In this episode of Politics with Dr. Omosholadeji, we will be looking at what General Tchiani is accusing Nigerian government of, and Nigerian government alleged complicit with France, the implication of this on the international scene, and also the implication of it for Nigeria's relationship with Niger. We'll be looking at that and a whole lot more on this episode of Politics with Dr. Omosholadeji. Now, let us look at something. What are the allegations of General Tchiani, and is it possible for Nigeria to do as accused? First, I must say something that you see this topic as regards Niger, France, Nigeria. It's a very large topic. It's a topic that I can pick from different angles and produce about 15 episodes. So it's not easy for me to cover everything in just an episode. That's why I just thought of, okay, what little aspect can I touch on? And that is that what is Tchiani accusing Nigeria of? And is it possible for Nigeria to do so? But I can tell you that it is a very, 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 very vast topic that it will take time to cover. But let us just cover this, and in the next days, as the issues begin to evolve, we will surely be covering more aspects of the topic. And that's why, if you are yet to subscribe, always do well to subscribe to this channel. Now, General Tchiani of Niger Republic is the military leader of the country. You will recall that there is a military coup in Niger Republic, Mali, Burkina Faso, and I think Chad. And in those countries, though, when the military leader took charge, majority of the citizens in the country, as reported in the media, were jubilating. Now, these countries, the leaders that were sacked were kind of like loyal to France. France was extorting and exploiting the country, but these military leaders has tried to sever their relationship with France, and France is not happy with this. So Nigeria's president, Bola Tinubu, is the leader of ECOWAS, is the chairman of ECOWAS. That is the Economic Community of West African States. And Nigeria has been hobnobbing with France. So this have raised suspicion on the part of Niger and all these countries that are now governed by the military to think that Nigeria is plotting to arm them. Now, what is Tchiani accusing Nigeria and the government of Bola Tinubu of? Now, Tchiani is accusing Nigeria of complicity in the formation of Lakurawa. You will recall that Lakurawa is the new terrorist sect that was identified recently operating in Sokoto and Kebbi State, and they have been, perpetrating a lot of atrocities in that particular area. Now, is Nigeria complicit in the formation of Lakurawa as accused by General Tchiani? You want to hear the truth? You really want to hear the truth? Yes, Nigeria is complicit. You see, when there is an issue that can create insecurity and you as a government decide not to act fast, you are complicit in making that insecurity happen. So Nigerian government is complicit because when Lakurawa was forming itself in Sokoto and Kebbi State, where was Nigerian government then? Why did Nigerian government not act against this set? And if you look at the dynamics of Buhari's emergence in 2015, that it is reported all over the place. Kau Baraje, the political ally of Bukola Saraki, this man, they usually call himself chief servant, the former governor of Niger State, Babangida Aliyu, said it that the Buhari team allegedly import bandits from West Africa, all this Mali, Niger, and all these places, to come into Nigeria. And when these people came, and after the election, they refused to go back, what action did the Buhari government took to make sure that these people were sacked from the territory of Nigeria? So if you ask me, and I want to be sincere, despite being a Nigerian, I will tell you that truly, Nigerian government is complicit in the formation of Lakurawa because inaction is complicit. But then, Bola Ahmed Tinubu inherited this baggage, and well, should I say it is good for Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the sense that he is part of the Buhari team, he is part of those that installed Buhari, and for Lakurawa to have thrived under Buhari, and he himself was the leader, was the national leader of the ruling party at the time under Buhari. Definitely, we cannot totally wash off the hands of Tinubu, but then he is not at the helm of affairs at that time, so we cannot put the blame on him, and we cannot totally exonerate him. Now, what is General Tchiani accusing Nigerian government of again? General Tchiani, I need to read something to you, accused France of planning to establish a terrorist operational center in Gaba, a forested area in Sokoto State, Nigeria. You see, about France establishing a terrorist operational center, you see, it will be a bit difficult in the sense that France can aid the operations of terrorists, and France do not need the assistance of terrorists to sack the government of Niger if France really want to. And that's why I said this topic cannot really be covered in a single sitting, because we need to trace it back to the post-independence sack of head of state and presidents in Africa. You will see that all these France, all these empires, they have a way of removing government of newly independent countries. The case of Kwame Nkrumah comes to mind. So they have their own strategy that they can use, because in fact there is always a Judas in your country that they can always use if they want to. Then you need to read about the operations of multinational corporations. So they have their own different, more sophisticated ways if they want to deal with Niger. So I don't believe that France will stoop to so low to now be kind of like hobnobbing with Lakurawa or establishing a terrorist operational center and all that. I really don't believe so, because the Niger government wasn't produced by terrorists. No, it's not a production of Lakurawa. Niger government currently is a product of the military. You understand that connection? So if the Niger government is a product of all these Islamic sects, then we can say that, okay, France can be interested in using maybe another Islamic group to counter the Islamic ruling government of Niger. But the government of Niger is a military government, not an Islamist ruling government. So for that, I fought General Tchiani, and his argument on that does not really hold water, as if I understand what General Tchiani is saying very well. Another thing is that, you see, the allies of France have spent billions of dollars to tame and eradicate terrorism around the whole world. They have spent billions of dollars to tame and eradicate them around the world. So if France is an ally of United States, is an ally of UK, is an ally of Canada, and these countries have been collaborating, have been spending billions of dollars to eradicate this sect in the world, then France, which is an ally of these countries in the international state, cannot do anything that will promote the activities of this group. So for that, I rule General Tchiani out of order. Now, another thing that is accusing Nigerian government of, as regards its relationship with France, is that, and I need to read this, according to Tchiani, France is also providing financial backing for Nigeria to set up military base in Borno State under the guise of combating terrorism, with the ulterior motive of destabilising Niger and neighbouring countries. Now, can France want to set up a military base in Nigeria? Yes. I think General Tchiani is right in this regard, because France can want to set up military base to aid operations against countries governed by the military. And we need to draw a global map here, in the sense that these countries that are now being governed by the military in France, if you look at them very well, these are countries that are now aligning with Russia. And as these countries are aligning with Russia, you will realize that their alignment with Russia is a bit of issue because Russia is not in the best of times, if I can use that word, with France. France is aligning with US, and US is anti-Russia. You see, it's just a simple mathematical equation for you to understand whether some of these things is possible or not. So for me, I think that yes, France can have the intention to set up a military base to aid operation against countries governed by military government, especially if these countries continue to align with Russia. And also, if these countries decide to shun some important agreement and treaties, what you don't know is that there are some existing olden days agreement with UK that colonized Nigeria. There are some existing olden treaties and agreement that France had with Niger. There are some very important ones that France do not joke with these treaties. If Niger dare try to go against the interest of France and decide to shun some of these important treaties, then France may wish to retaliate and invade some of these countries. Though it will be difficult, and that's why these countries are wise. They are aligning with Russia so that the fear of Russia can be restraining France from acting. If it were to be in the olden days, these countries would have been invaded by the French authorities, and they would have immediately removed those military guys and installed their own stooge back in power. But now the world has advanced, and it is quite a bit uneasy, especially when these countries are now aligning with Russia. So you will see that General Tchiani, I will call him 2/3, in the sense that is Nigeria complicit in the formation of Lakurawa, that was Nigeria complicit in making Lakurawa gain ground within the territories of Nigeria? Yes, which I've analyzed to you. Now, is France planning to operate a terrorist operational center? No, I don't agree with that. But will France want to establish a military base in Nigeria? Yes. So that is 2/3 for General Tchiani. And I believe that the Niger government, as a government, will not just speak without having any form of intelligence. They won't be speaking in vacuum. They would have done their own intelligence, done their own arithmetic, and that's why they are crying out as early as possible before Nigeria and France will align to give them the shock of their life. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politin with Dr. Omoshola. Dr. Deji is a political scientist with a PhD in political science. Do want to subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past videos, and of course, see you in my next video. I love you all. Sincere.